Yeah, challenging and pushing boundaries, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
also learning to have emotional control, which really, really varies greatly between the ages of 1.5 and 2 and 5, 6, 7. Basically, there's a huge, like, 5 years of trying to understand your own emotional development there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some children will get it in 1 or 2 years, and they will accept reality, and okay, that's the way it is. Um, Part of that will be innate from inside themselves, and part of that will be learned from their environment. Um, but then for some children, it takes much longer. Like my son learned everything very quickly and had some level, a good level, not perfect level of emotional control.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my youngest daughter is still out of control now. She's 5.5, and if if we are doing something together as a family and she is not first, you
Mm-hmm.
just panic and screaming and just total madness, total madness. And there's not much that we can do about that except try to be positive and reinforce positive behaviors and try to be understanding. But I would say at least once every day for the last 2 years, I've I've had a problem in that area that I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Where if I take my kids out to the park, if my son puts his shoes on before my daughter puts her shoes on, there's screaming and crying and panic from my daughter because she's not first.
Yeah.
And there's a very interesting parallel there that my son always wants to be first with everything. The middle daughter doesn't really care so much, and youngest daughter wants to be first as well. So obviously they've learned this somehow from myself and my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly sure how. Probably if I studied it more, I would have a better answer why that is. But um, definitely not the most positive reaction to have at a very young age, to always want to be first at everything. But hard when you look at the world. The world is a competition. It's just one big competition. Everybody competes with everybody all the
Yeah.
time. They compete with personal values. They compete on performance. They compete on price. They compete on how many and how much and how far and how long and how fast and how big and how small, and everything. Everything is a table from best to worst.
Yes.
Every other web page is a table from best to worst of of things. So it's a little bit difficult to say to your kids, being first is not really that important when we're always looking for the best, right? It's not bad to want things to be the best or to be better. Um, Yet at the same time, if you want to be first all the time, it's going to be difficult if you're actually not first. But we will see how that develops in the future. If they start companies, if there's any economy left, if they start companies and they want their companies to be first, that's going to be a really good thing. If they're honest about the way they do things, and hopefully they will be.